Hello and welcome to Healing Trauma Mamas. I'm your host, Madon Wingo. Thank you for joining us as we share in our stories and experiences of healing from childhood traumas and birth traumas. Listen as we discuss our struggles, our failures, our strengths and our victories, and all those lessons we've learned along the way. Well, good morning, and thank you for joining us on the Healing Trauma Mamas podcast. You might be wondering, what is the Healing Trauma Mamas podcast? Well, we actually started out as a Facebook community, and I'm a very unlikely thought of host. Never thought I would be the moderator of a Facebook community, and definitely never thought I would be hosting a podcast. But here I am. Life loves to give us lots of fun twists and turns, and we never know exactly where we're going to end up and what's around the next corner. So I'm thankful I get to be here with you today. I wanted to let you know a little bit about myself. I'm Madon Wingo, as I stated earlier. I'm a wife to a wonderful man, been married almost 19 years at this point. We have 6 beautiful children, and we live in West Texas. Some beautiful country that we're very thankful the Lord has brought us to. And I'm currently a student midwife, finishing up hopefully my last year of training before I am able to be licensed. And I bring up student midwife because you'll hear us talk about it often on the podcast, because a lot of my journey has been things that the Lord has taught me through becoming a midwife and how that's helped link me to my past. So I actually, I'm a biological daughter to some very flawed parents, as I'm sure many of you have out there, that they had their challenges and their own traumas that they dealt with. And due to that experiences and where I grew up, that's kind of how the Healing Trauma Mamas came about. I actually was dealing with my own past traumas, childhood sexual traumas, and the traumatic birth I experienced with my youngest son 3 years ago. And I was learning as a student midwife how all of that was intertwined in the way we respond to each other, the way women respond to birth, their history and their childhood actually affects it deeply. And I ended up going and speaking on the podcast, a podcast by myself. I had never expected to do that, but Caitlin Fusco so graciously hosted me on the Happy Home Birth podcast, and I was able to speak about all these different things that I was learning and have been continuing to learn on my journey to become a midwife and growing and maturing as an adult woman, and all these wonderful things that I was able to see. Caitlin was able to have me on the podcast, and we were able to kind of go through my full history growing up in a cult and the experiences I had through that, and how those affected my births and me as a woman and a mother, and in my journey now to becoming a midwife. And so I'll link that podcast episode in the show notes for you all. I do encourage you to go listen to that podcast. You'll get a lot of background and history from me on there. I'll discuss a couple of births on that podcast also, and I'm so thankful that you actually get to have those mamas on the podcast here and hear their stories in their own words. And our goal here at the Healing Trauma Mamas podcast is to really to give a safe place where mamas can come together. They can share their stories and their experiences, things they've learned, and their journey on healing, as that is the ultimate goal for all of us, to really be able to relate and share our experiences and to encourage each other and pray for each other on our journey to healing and share those things that we have learned. So I'm here for you. If you would like to reach out, please feel free to do so. You are welcome to look me up on Facebook, or you can email me at healingtraumamamas@gmail.com. I would love to hear feedback from you, and if you'd be interested in coming on to the podcast and talking about your story, please feel free to reach out. I will share a link down below in our podcast notes for healingtraumamamas@gmail.com and also for our Facebook community at Healing Trauma Mamas in Facebook groups. So I'm looking forward to this journey that the Lord has brought us on and hearing from all you mamas out there and sharing some of the fun experiences and some of the difficult experiences that I've had, and as I continue to grow myself and get to learn from all you mamas out there. Thank you for listening. May you be encouraged and strengthened by what you've heard today. Remember, you are dearly loved by your Creator, so be who He created you to be. May you go in peace, friends. Till next time, Shalom.